CNN itself is there in the home. And so we have the Pro Vitality pack there that has a tree and whole grain concentrates. And if you're thinking about your children as a woman, we do have solutions for our children as well. Then you also realize that the number 2, after you feed your cells to enhance your energy and to make sure that your cells, the nutrition is coming in and the waste is going out, that means that even the absorption of whatever you eat, it is going to be at its best at mealtime. And then, of course, the waste is gotten out of the body because you can't retain waste into the body. And then, of course, we've talked about the fruits and the vegetables, and they realize that they need to come up with something we call the carotenoid complex. And carotenoid complex in itself is a very important antioxidant. It's an immune booster. And even at a time like now when we need to prevent ourselves, not really prevent, but make sure that our immunity is high, just in case we come into contact of the virus that we are seeing today, your immunity needs to be at its best. And so with the carotenoid complex, you are able to boost your immunity by around 37% in exactly 20 days. So that is another area where you are able to optimize your cells and your immunity is well taken care of. Then we are talking about omega-3 salmon oil plus. With omega-3, it is good for our joints. With women, we do a lot of activities. And because of that, the movement and all, you find that many women have a problem with joint issues. There could be inflammation, and that's where the omega-3 comes in. And the omega-3 is very critical for taking care of our brain. You know, when you have too much to do as a woman, sometimes you tend to forget some things. Sometimes you tend to have too much clogged up in your brain. And so omega-3 will help you with that. And then on top of that, we talk about the vitamins and the minerals. You need a good blend of vitamins and the minerals in totality, where you have all the vitamins, the water soluble, the oil soluble that are provided by the body, and all the minerals you need, both the major, the macro, the micro, and very specifically for women, the trace minerals like iodine. As a woman, if you lack iodine, you can be sure you could easily get what we call goiter or thyroidism. And that is one of the things that really affect women. And so we don't have to wait to be there. You need to make sure that you're getting enough of that. And so it is important to know that Pro Vitality will give you that cover. It's a good base to start with as a woman. And so as a woman, you need to know that you must always make sure that once in a while, or even as often as you can, you have that set of the Pro Vitality to give you that totality of what you need. The key benefits of Pro Vitality will be, as I have told you, the antioxidant. Immunity is up. Your brain function is at its best. That includes even your skin, your hair and nails. Women are very, what can I say? They're very sensitive. There are many of us who lose our hairline within our hair. It's part of the process because probably all the minerals we had were not recovered back even once we got our babies. And because of that, you find our hair has an issue. The nails are not growing as strong as they should. And those are very great attributes for women. And then our heart. We need to make sure that our heart is at its best. We don't have cholesterol. We don't have body fat in the system. So because of the omega factor in the Pro Vitality, that will be taken care of. Our joints are flexible enough to take us through our teen years, to take us through the motherhood. Motherhood is a very critical area where we are very busy. And then, of course, as we age, many women, as they age, they lose their limbs, they lose their activity, the joints have a problem, there's inflammation, swelling, and all those kind of things. Of course, and also clear vision. It is very, very critical because of the omega-3 and the carotenoid. And moving forward, something else that we need to really think about is the protein content as women. We need lean muscles more than the fat aspect of our bodies. And for you to think as a woman to maintain your good lean muscles and to make sure that you have good protein for repair of all the damage that happens in our systems, Neolife has formulated something we call the Neolife Shake. The Neolife Shake is a very important part of our family, both for the parents and the children. Reason being, it will give you all the 22 amino acids. Many of the proteins we take will give you, some will give you 8, some will give you 13. And you know, with the protein, we need the non-essential and the essential together. And so with the Neolife Shake, one of the things that you'll do, it will give you lean muscles. And if you are struggling with weight, whether you are overweight, obese, or you want to maintain, Neolife Shake is very, very good. It will give you sustained energy. It will give you fiber. Fiber is very critical for maintaining your weight as well, and making sure that you're not eating too much. You know, ladies, sometimes they have stress eating. When they are stressed, they really go into that mode for quite a number of them. And so when you find you're in that kind of situation, or sometimes you're too busy to even have a meal, maybe your work is too busy, and you're not even able to have good breakfast. You wake up very early in the morning, you're running to work, you did not have good breakfast. This could be a very good breakfast for you. And it comes in many flavors, several flavors: vanilla, chocolate, and berries and cream. And so what is the NutriShake going to do, or the Neolife Shake? It will give you high fiber, which will maintain your weight. It will minimize fat storage in your body and promote and make sure that there's fat burning. Many women want to remain lean for longer, and so that is going to be very, very critical. It will do other benefits. We've talked about satiety, whereby you want to have a sense of satiety where you're not eating too much. It will control that in itself. And this you can do in your smoothies. Women are very good in doing smoothies and juicing, whether it's for the entire family or for yourself. This can be very good. And for women who stopped taking, there are many women who don't want to take dinner because they know most of the time when they do dinner, it gives them a lot of calories. This could be your meal in the evenings before you do, as you go to dinner, because in itself, it has all the vitamins, all the minerals, it has a bit of good carbohydrates and very good protein intake. So Neolife Shake is good for weight loss and even as a meal in itself to replace your meals. The other thing I'll be talking to you about for women really is something that we call, when we look at the next thing that women need is, just a minute, we have a lot of stress as women. There's a lot of digestive discomfort for many reasons. And so we have the Aloe Vera Plus that will reduce your stress levels. If you have acidity that has been disturbing you as a lady, that could be it can be very tricky with all the activities that you need. So aloe vera will give you a good spike for energy in the evening. It will help you sleep well because it has some herbs that will give you a sense of calmness. And so it tastes good. It has a blend of some herbal teas. It will energize you and relax you. And so that could be a good drink for a lady in the evening, just right when you're about to go to bed, or just in case you have acidity. That product can be very good to make sure that you reduce that, any heartburn, flatulence, and all that in your digestive system. Something else that is very critical is what we call the feminine herbal. The olden days, our grandparents, at one time or another, they were able to have herbs that were very critical for women. And I don't know what happened. Yeah, we are more learned, but we have a thing of not looking at the herbs that are needed to balance our hormonal issues. And sometimes the normal kind of foods cannot do that. Herbs are specifically made, or they were created by God for that purpose. So every woman needs to know that in their lifetime, they need to have regular intake of herbs. So Neolife has come up with a blend of herbs. And so we have what we call the feminine herbal complex. And that complex is able to come with a blend whereby, one, your hormones are balanced. Many women have hormonal imbalance. They have early menopause. They have a lot of cramping, irregular periods, irritation, and mood swings. We all know that happens. And even the digestive elements could be related to some of those hormonal issues. A lot of women are getting things like fibroids, cysts. Cysts are coming up, not to mention the tougher things like the breast cancer and the cervical cancer or the ovarian cancers. They are very, very traumatizing for us to go through. And so that we prevent those things to start with, every woman needs to think about the feminine harbor. And feminine harbor needs to start right from puberty. Because our girls are eating a lot of junk based on the kind of lifestyle we have, many of them will have a lot of cramping and a lot of premenstrual stress. Moving on, when they get to the point where they're supposed to be fertile to get babies, quite a number they have a stint of infertility where they are not able to conceive, and it is quite a challenge for them. Feminine harbor is very good for that. If you are a woman and your periods are irregular, you should not celebrate and say, oh, you know, I'm excited, I don't have them every other month. No, 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 no. You need to have it on, you need to have your periods on a regular time. It should not be too heavy. It should not take too long. And so that balancing can be done by the feminine harbor. It will calm your nerves. It will boost your spirits. It will give you a positive mental attitude. And those challenges we are talking of early menopause, or if you're already having menopause, it will be able to reduce the hot flashes, the sweating. And many women in menopause say, I'm so confused. I have a lady who called me and told me, Gladys, when it hits me and I'm driving, I have to go and park the car out until that bout goes. And so it's an area where it confuses. And for the men who are in the house, please support your women on this, because that is a time when a woman can really get confused. And for those who have secondary, they're not getting, you got a baby, maybe you've taken a long time, you're not getting another one, and you're wondering what could be the problem. Feminine harbor will be very good for that. In the fertility program, of course, used with other products. It's a complex that is used with other blends and other things like zinc, vitamin E. Vitamin E is very critical, but I'll get into that. Something else that women need is calcium. Every woman, right from birth, needs a lot of enough calcium. Let me say enough. And the challenge we are having is if you're getting calcium, but you don't have enough magnesium to allow the absorption. And the scientists are saying even now vitamin D3 is very critical for the absorption of calcium. It is very critical that you have to think about calcium that is well balanced in the ratio of 2 to 1. Calcium and magnesium should always be in the ratio of 2 to 1. The two of them work together, and there must be that element of the D3. What will CalMag do to you? It will make sure that you have enough calcium in your body for strong bones and teeth, such that if you get pregnant, you don't have to give or sacrifice the calcium in your bones to your baby, because you already have enough and you are getting enough from the diet and from a supplement. I can tell you for sure that most gynaes, they always make sure that they give the ladies who are pregnant some calcium to boost that so that they don't lose that. Many women lose their teeth during the pregnancy period because most of it is given to the children. And then of course it will prevent you from having what we call an early onset of osteoporosis, where your bones become brittle, they can break. And on this one, I'll give a testimony. I grew up with a mother who always broke her hand there, her leg there. There's a time my mom broke her leg and she stayed for very many years with a broken leg. And the healing took so long. And she got arthritis and it stressed her so much. Little did we know that my mom all along had that challenge of calcium. And when we understood it in 2002, moving forward to date, at least it has really helped her from the days we used to see her struggle so much. And then of course, there's the muscle. You don't want to lose your muscles and the nerve functions. You want all those intact. So calcium is important from pre-puberty, because I told you about even the muscle spasm of girls when they're having PMSs and cramping. Calcium is very critical for them. Moving on into the older years, and the older you become as a woman, the more calcium you actually need into your system. So calcium is important, and this one is formulated in such a way that is chelated. Chelated means that almost 80–90% of it is absorbed, none of it gets lost. Unlike many of them that are in the pharmacies, that will actually not be absorbed fully because they are synthetic, they are not organically done, they are not whole food done. Some are done from shells, some are done from stones, and that is not good for us. So calcium is very, very critical. Another product is vitamin E complex. The women, fertility are issues, not to mention skin. Women love their skin. They go to all the lengths to make sure that their skin is at its best. So as a lady here, when we look at our skincare, we see it has a lot of the vitamin E, and of course B and C. I'll not ignore those ones. So vitamin E is very good for your skin, it's very good for fertility, it's very good for the circulatory system because it makes sure that the clots are not coming into the system, it prevents clotting. It's very good for women who got varicose veins. Very many women are getting varicose veins, and that really disturbs them. And it is also good for promoting the lung, colon, and immune functions. It's also a very important antioxidant, very, very strong antioxidant. And what happens is that many foods where we get the vitamin E, some of them could be very fatty, like eggs, and some of them are from wheat-based foods and you know wheat in itself has challenges for women. And so vitamin E is a very, very critical aspect for women, and even for the women who are trying to get children because of the fertility aspect of it. The other thing I'll talk about is the area of the skin. But before I go there, there's a product here that I love so much called Cruciferous. Every woman needs to take something that will keep hormonal cancers away. And one of the things that prevent hormone cancers is the Cruciferous family of fruits and vegetables. That comes from things like broccoli, cauliflower, radish, mustards, watercress, and many of us do not access these things. And if we do, sometimes they are grown with in soils that do not have as much from what we need from the soils because of a lot of fertilizers and not just doing the good crop husbandry. So you find that it is very good for maintaining the breast tissues so that the breast cancers are managed and the other cancers I talked about. Let me give a testimony of a friend of mine who I encouraged to take Cruciferous. She was going, actually about 2 or 3 friends, 3, who have been having a challenge with the fibroids. And I encouraged them to go on Cruciferous complex, and Cruciferous has helped them a great deal. For more information on that area, please, you talk to the person who invited you, and you will dig more into the details what Cruciferous actually does. It crucifies all the bad tissues in our system, the ones that grow, whether they are malignant or benign, any unnecessary and not needed growth within our systems, they are really taken care of by the Cruciferous. So that is very critical, and every woman needs 1 serving of Cruciferous on a daily basis. This is a very important product for women, if you're on the call, and even for men because of the prostate aspect. As men, if you want to prevent, today is Father's Day, let me just get out a little bit and say men also need the Cruciferous because of the prostate aspect of it. It removes the aggression of the destructive compounds that could be carcinogenic. It is very good for optimal hormonal therapy. So any hormonal issues, Cruciferous is very, very critical. You just need 1 a day, and it's very good. And so Neolife will give you all that whole food nutrition. And before I even get to the last session, which I'll be very brief about, it's important to know that there are other targeted solutions for women. So if you want weight loss, you'll be told more by the person who invited you. Bone and joint, you'll be told more by the person who invited you. Fertility, you'll be told more by the person who invited you, and the combinations that you can do for those particular challenges. But also, you know, women, the issue of skin, and out there, we've been served with many, many skin cares that sometimes are dangerous for us, that bleach our skins, that give us challenges from within. If you take skincare that has a lot of things that are not good for your skin. Your skin is a breathing organ. And in the process of that breathing, you find that all that gets into the system and will mess us up. And so Neolife also considered that. And I'm not saying the skincare is just for women, it's great for the men. Finally, men have a great product that will not stress them up. It's easy to use. Within 5 minutes, you're done with it. And it is organic, it's natural, it's for all the skin types. All the skin types are covered. We have the normal to dry, combination to oily, and even those who think they have a sensitive skin. It's great for people who want to make sure that you don't grow with wrinkles. We have something for the eye gel. We are having a challenge at the eye area, the puffing of the eyes, the wrinkles. That's where we start seeing our age coming in. And so that's a great range that you need to talk to the person who invited you about. And what can I say? I think that's it that I would talk to you about. And so before we wind up our session, I'm going to invite two people. And I want to be very gender sensitive. I know we are doing a meeting for women, but I'm going to give a chance to a man in the group who is going to tell us. He's been in this industry for many years. He's going to tell us what he thinks about the women's health from the perspective of a man. And so I'm going to invite Mr. Amulavu, Charles Amulavu, so that he can be able to take us through just 1 or 2 words of what he thinks about the women's health. And I'm looking for him so that I can unmute him and so that he can tell us 1 or 2 words before we get to the next person and we wind up. Charles Amulavu, please, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, Gladys, I can hear you very well.
Please take it away. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gladys. That was a fantastic presentation. In fact, I felt like a new distributor just listening to you. And you have covered the women products quite well. Now, for me, since some people may not know me, my name is Charles Amulavu Machete. I am a seasoned banker, and I've been in banking, commercial and investment banking for over 25 years. And so this business found me while I was working in the bank. And as I was working in the bank, I moved up the ladder, very high levels in the banking industry. But I found that I was missing some things. I used to travel a lot in my employment, but one thing I realized is that I could not travel with my family. And that really stressed me because I used to be taken to very good places and I felt my family should have gone with me. And so when this business offered me an opportunity to travel with my family, I said, I will go for it. And the other thing is that in this business, I found that I work with people that I choose. So I am able to work with the people I like, people who are like me, people who have dreams like me. In my employment life, I used to work with whoever I found myself, in the departments. So I'm very happy to have joined this opportunity. I've gained a lot through this opportunity. I've actually traveled many places with my wife. And this business opportunity has also given me a new outlook of life, because I realized that these holidays are not only for those tourists who come. Holidays are also for us, because that's the way, the lifestyle that you're introduced to. So in terms of women health, it's always exciting to talk about these products. And I'll just talk briefly about my experience with the women in my house. The first one is my wife, Margaret. And one of the things that I realized that Neolife covers is that it covers the whole family wholesomely. For example, Gladys mentioned about the monthly cycles. and the challenges that can come out of that. I can tell you I have firsthand experience of how when this process is not harmonized well, it can be a big challenge. You hear of PMS. PMS is a premenstrual syndrome, and it affects very many women. And the great woman in my life had this challenge. And I can tell you, PMS, a woman with PMS is worse than a terrorist. So if you have one that is being challenged during this, around that monthly time, you need to engage our products. And for Margaret, when we engaged our products, she started using feminine herbal. She put herself on CalMag. She had vitamin B complex. She had, TRNN and the multi-minerals and vitamins. I can tell you that became a problem of the past. In fact, most of the time, I didn't realize that she was at that time of the month, because now her whole hormonal system was balanced. The other area is on the area of when you are preparing to get children. By the way, I always say that whole process from conception to carrying to giving birth is a miracle, because it's not automatic. It doesn't happen the same to everyone, but you can prepare through Neolife. And I realized that when we wanted to have our child, we actually prepared, and we put Margaret on some products. And I also, as a man, went on to some products. And for women, again, you'll find vitamin E is very critical when you are looking for conception. Omega-3 also supports that. You have feminine herbal and zinc, very important products when you are looking for conception. And then vitamin E also is very critical for women when they conceive, because it helps to attach the fetus on the womb. Some women lose the fetus because it's not properly attached. Then once they have conceived, it's good to ensure that the child is taken proper care of in the stomach before the time that they come out. And what I saw is that we were able to use vitamin B complex. Mostly when women get pregnant, they are given only one of the B complex. But in Neolife, you have the whole family of 8, which covers all the aspects of your child, from the nervous system growth to the bone structure to all the areas, including muscle building. So vitamin B complex, CalMag, and omega-3 for the brain growth and function. And calcium, as Gladys said, is so important, because when a woman is expectant and carrying a child and doesn't take sufficient amounts of good calcium, then what happens is that there are some systems that have to work whether we like it or not. So if a woman is not taking sufficient amounts of calcium, the baby will pull it from anywhere in the body where it can be found. And that's why you get women losing their teeth, because that's the first place that the fetus or the growing baby picks the calcium from. And then they go to the hips and the other bones. So again, that's a whole process that Neolife covers very well. Then the other area that, once the child comes out and, you continue supporting yourself with great products, Provitality, Feminine Continuous, CalMag, and the others. Then we have our girl, who again we wanted to take care of very well. And after preparing for her, using the products, and she came out very healthy, she was very bright. The time that we were very careful about, and it's critical for women, is adolescent, when the girls are about to change, to puberty. when that change is happening, if you don't take care of that, you'll have the many problems that people have with their girls. And a lot of times people understand the girls when that change is taking place, because they become erratic, they become moody, they become argumentative, they want to have their way. But if you prepare them properly, and by around the age of between 10 and 12, you need to introduce CalMag and feminine herbal to the other supplements that you give them. And you know, at around the age of 12, they can now shift from the children's nutrition to the adult nutrition. So they have their trienen, their multis, and you then add CalMag, because CalMag calms them down and helps them with being able to take life positively and systematically. And it helps with the developments that are taking place in the body so that they don't get shocked, because that's part of what makes them erratic. And then feminine herbal already starts harmonizing their hormones and balancing them so that they become calm and collected, and they go through that transition very well. So these are things that we have seen, and I can tell you, Neolife takes care of all of us, the whole family, in the best way. And I have experienced that, and I can affirm what Gladys has said, that with these products, there is no way you can go wrong. Finally, as I finish, skincare. Again, I'm very sure you've seen my family. We all look nice, including myself. I'm on the skincare products, and these are products that help you to look younger for longer. And a lot of times people get surprised when they realize our ages, because we have never looked our age. So thank you very much. It's been exciting getting this chance to just share my experience with the women in my house, women that are important to my life. And I can tell you, any woman who has listened today, please take all those products that Gladys has talked about. Thank you very much.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Charles. You've been my mentor for many years, you and Maggie, and we thank God for you. And so we have the last person to say something small also as a woman. So I request Anne Gao, please share with us your experience in a few minutes, kindly.
Hi everyone, my name is Anne Ngao. I come from Nairobi. I've known Neolife since 2002, and I joined because of finances. I was working with the banking industry and I got retrenched, and that's how I met my friend who talked to me about this opportunity, and I made a decision to start. And the journey has been very exciting. I wanted only 10,000 shillings, but right now, I can tell you now I am grown to be wanting 1 million shillings a month. And I'm excited because my dreams have grown. Now, I'm here to talk about the women program. Gladys and Charles have really done a good job. I cannot even add more, but I can only give you a testimony of what has happened after using these products. When I joined Neolife in the year 2002, one of the challenges I had was being overweight. I was overweight because I had a challenge of fibroids. And when you're having fibroids, doctors tend to give you some steroids that will actually mess around with your hormones. And so when I joined, I had a challenge of overweight. So the first thing I tackled when in my health was weight management. I went on the program of weight management. I lost 10 kilos. And some of the things that I was experiencing, like heart palpitation, and I was feeling tired all the time, that disappeared because of losing weight. Another thing that I experienced is that, you know, when you have suffered from those fibroids, somehow you tend to be weak and get sick all the time. But when I started introducing these products to me and my family, I realized a very big change. My health totally changed. The sicknesses that used to come around in my life changed. And I can encourage every woman that these products are wonderful. Now, I joined when I was young. Now, in my level 5, level 5, menopausal, I've managed my menopause symptoms using the products. Feminine Herbal. I used to sweat a lot, but with Feminine Herbal, Calmac, vitamin E, vitamin B complex, wheat germ oil, and among many others, that has managed to help me to manage my mood swings. At the same time, I am a person who is able to help other women. For example, I've met a lady who had gone through secondary infertility. She was trying to get a child, but her hormones had changed from, I think, estrogen levels had lowered, and then the other hormones had gone up. So through this product, she was able to get her children. She's now having more than 3 children, and she's very excited. So I thank God that through this business, you are able to help women even to realize their dreams of having children. Another thing is that even our young girls, sometimes they go through what we call premature menopause, where they cease, their period cease. So a friend of mine had a daughter like that, and she called me, Anne, I can't imagine not having grandchildren. I can't imagine my daughter can be in menopause right now. Then I told her, don't worry, we can try our products. Our products do work. And I gave her just the products that worked in a month. Feminine Herbal, vitamin B complex, related zinc. And this product actually opened her up again, and she started receiving her menses once again. And I feel excited, especially when you are helping other people with the products that you have used yourself. And so for those ladies who are here and you're having challenges, or you know people who are actually looking for babies, Amlava has said it. These products do work, and they actually work. We are not saying that we are God, but through these products, together with prayers and God, we help many people change and realize their dreams. And of course, money, I've been able to make some good money. I've traveled a lot. I've made wonderful friends like Gladys, Charles. And this is a place where you want to be. You don't want to be in your level 5 with alone. You want to have friends that are hanging around you. So if you are a guest and you are fearing aging, please join us, because in your life we are a big family of women of all ages. And so we can live together happy and help one another to get older. God bless you, and I wish you what you wish for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. That was awesome. So in closing, what do I say? All the people on the call, thank you for coming up. As we close, we would want to tell you that whoever invited you can give you more details about the products for your family. They can show you how you can partner with us. That would be awesome. So besides the health part of it, they can also show you about the finances, how you can be a member, you retire into this, and this is something you can do part-time without any pressure. And also, as Amulavu said, international travel, that is fantastic. I've experienced part of it. I want to experience more. And personal development. So we want to say thank you for just coming in. We don't take it for granted. Please talk to the person who invited you so that they can tell you more. We want to thank you. And let me release the ladies so that you can maybe go and pamper the men. Today is their day. Thank you and God bless you.